is the first one that they're holding in LA. I will tell you that it is way better. I mean, I was taking my photos a different way. I'm not the best with photography, but she's very good with photography, and as part of the course, she's actually hello. So I am going to a CE course called Art of Ceramic. It's a veneer or cosmetic course. I'm actually really excited. The person who is running it is Andi. It's meant to be because I was gonna fly to New York for this course, and this is the first one that they're holding in LA, and I'm in Orange County. So it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna drive. It starts at 8:30. Very nervous about driving. I never drive over an hour to go anywhere, but I will for this course.
And happiness is about 50% genetic.
We are here. This is the fit. Puffy jacket, a sweatsuit. Basically, I only packed sweatsuits. My residency friend. Hey, Darren.
Co-resident. How long has it been? What? 10 years?
10.
12 years?
We're old. Silence. Hello, it is Tuesday. I was supposed to be working today, inserting some veneers, but the Con Edison people turned off my electricity today. So that's great. We found out the day before, so we were able to reschedule everyone, but still very inconvenient. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to go over what I learned at the Art of Ceramic, because I went over this weekend and I brought my vlogging camera. I was able to vlog like maybe the first day, a little bit of the second day, but I ran out of, I brought enough batteries for my cameras, but not enough memory on my SD card, which is, it's 128 gigabytes. So I don't know what else is on here right now. But anyways, I had fun at Art of Ceramic, first of all, and I felt really inspired by watching these lectures. I mean, one of the things about going to these CE courses is that it's exciting, you know? Like, I remember CE courses didn't used to excite me very much when I first graduated from dental school, because it's like 1 hour CE courses and it's boring AF. And these people would just go through their PowerPoints and it's just monotonous and not fun. But these days I'm going to a lot of CE courses where the people are just so passionate. There are a few reasons why I think it's worth taking quality CE like this. Number one is that the people who are teaching it are actually really motivating. If you've lost your spark in dentistry, go to one of these courses. You'll see dentists who are like-minded, who really want to like crush it. Being around people like Andi, she's kind of a force and you can feel it. I was just thinking when I was watching her, I was like, damn, this woman is a boss. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's interesting because I have a big personality on social media, but when you meet me in real life, it's actually kind of disappointing because I'm just so quiet and introverted. But Andi, you can tell she's cool from social media, but if you see her in real life, she commands the room like a boss. I don't know how else to explain it. She has that like presence. What's motivating about her is that she pushes herself and in a way that pushes you too. She showed like something on the screen. She's like, I knew this was not very good, so I said to myself, I'm gonna do better. Like, we can do better than that. She was like speaking about herself. And that's the sort of like energy that I take as a dentist, because I go to these courses because I wanna be better and I never want to make it seem like that I'm the best. And it's difficult because when you're marketing yourself on social media, it's hard to find the balance between being humble and acting like you know everything. And the truth is, I do have a lot of experience. You know, I've been a dentist for a really long time, and I probably have more experience than a lot of people, but I don't want to ever come into a room and feel like I know the most, because I don't. And I always feel like there is so much more to learn. And that brings me to my second reason why I come to these courses, is because at this level of the game, like cosmetics, it's not taught in school, it's not taught anywhere. The only way to get better is by paying to connect with the people who do it at the highest level. By taking this course, I'm able to see the nuances of how people like Andi do it on the daily. And really what I wanted to learn is, I want to see how they do it. I want to pick up pearls in terms of like their consultations and what are things that they do that make the process better for patients and make my life better. I particularly wanted to see if she had any like tips and tricks for making this go by faster. Like, I take a long time to cement my veneers, and I wanted to see if there is a different way that she does things. So those types of things, like, I really am interested in, and I really want to take every veneer course out there because I think there is something to learn from each and every person. That's where I'm coming from. It's kind of like when you're the best tennis player in the world, how do you keep up your skill and competitive edge if you are already the best and you have no one to play with? Because you always want to play with someone who's better than you to get to that level, but if you're already the best, then there's no one to play with. So I'm lucky that I still have people that I can look up to. So let's talk about what we learned the first day of Art of Ceramic. First of all, they give you this book. It's really beautiful, actually, and it's like glossy. It has pictures and it has all the wording and everything. If we need to go back and see, it'll tell you like what exactly you need to do here. Like, for example, here's cementation protocol, step by step, photos. You are gonna leave with this book. It tells you exactly what to do sequence wise. And I know a lot of people are starting their cosmetic dentistry journey, and like stuff like this would be so helpful because I had to figure all this stuff out by myself when I was figuring out cosmetic dentistry and starting to do it. So the first portion of Art of Ceramic is the VIP experience. So she kind of shows us what they do at the Oppa Aesthetic LA Center. And that I think is always interesting, right? Because as cosmetic dentists, we are speaking to people about big high ticket cases. These are often like a 10 unit is like over 20K for most dentists who are doing cosmetic dentistry. So there's a certain experience that she goes over, specifically what they do there. And what was really cool is that all the people sitting in the back row for this particular one, because it's in LA and she's now in LA, they all work at Oppa. So front desk, treatment coordinators, the digital specialist person, lab people, she had her personal ceramist there. All these people were there as a resource. So if you really want to know anything about them, you could ask them during lunchtime. I'm pretty sure that I didn't take proper advantage of that because I just started talking to whoever I was sitting next to, and like conversations are good. I probably should have taken more advantage of that. But I also do have such a different office type. Like I only have two ops, so it's very, very small and I don't have as many staff as them, and I need to adapt whatever I've learned to my office, and I can't take everything that I've learned because my office is just not set up that way. But I did think that was really, really cool to have her team, like her dental family back there. She also went through a little bit of the verbiage that she uses during these consults, which I always think is really interesting. Now, one of the reasons I'm such a fan of Andi is because she's a woman. Like, she's a woman. And I've traditionally taken lots of CE courses from men, but not as much from women. Here's why I bring this up, is because every time I've learned something in my dental journey, it's usually been from a guy. And when I hear the things that they say during their consults, it just does not land when I say it because I'm a different person. But I felt like I could connect with what she's saying. It's closer to what I would personally say, although still different because you can't just like take what someone else is saying. You got to make it your own, but it's a little bit closer to what I would normally be saying, or like the attitude I would bring to certain conversations. So I loved that part. And I love women in dentistry. She does talk about the photography and how she does the photography. I actually took some of my photos the way that she does it. I mean, I was taking my photos a different way. I'm not the best with photography, but she's very good with photography. And as part of the course, she's actually gifting us access to her photography course. So that's also something extra that you do get. but she goes over all like little things that she does for the photography, like what photos exactly she takes and the settings of the camera, the retractors that she uses, etc. And I'm totally glazing over the fact that Dr. Rhodri Thomas was there too. If you guys don't know who Dr. Rhodri Thomas is, he is so... Okay, first of all, he is very handsome. He looks young. I was imagining this old dude. And then he was like super young looking. I was like, oh, so cool. You're so like young. You have a youthful passion. And he's not like young where he's not like he wasn't just born, but he has a lot of experience as well. He has a great eye for nature, and he's really good at like blending nature and making it like cinematographic, if that's a word, cinematographic. I don't know if that's a word, but it helps relate the dentistry and what our goals are. He was really cool. He brought a lot of insights from Wales over and how he does cases. And what's nice is that when we were doing the prepping exercise, we prepped like 10 teeth or whatever. They both prep slightly differently. So you are actually getting insights from both people on how they do their cosmetic cases. So I thought that was really cool. So we go through different smile lines. It's a little bit of smile design, like when there's a high lip line, what to do, when there's a low lip line, what to do. And I actually got a few pearls because I do have a lot of patients that have like lip filler and things like that. So you would treatment plan, not only treatment plan, but you would also have to have a different sort of conversation with these patients because the teeth will look different. So the next portion is mock-ups. She does 4 different types of mock-ups. It's like a direct mock-up during the consultation. She also does extraoral mock-ups, so we would consider that a wax-up. There's digital mock-ups, and then there's intramural mock-ups. But that's after they have accepted treatment to basically create a wax-up of your own. She showed us how she does it on Flowable, and that's one of the exercises. We were supposed to like mock up a few teeth on the model. That was humbling. Sitting right next to me was a former student of mine from USC, and she's always been a good student. She's like a TA. She was always very gifted with her hands, and she killed this mock-up. Meanwhile, I like pushed a little bit of Flowable out, like a little bit too much, and it was a blob all over my my like thing, and it just looked really bad. It was very bad. And then I actually had to go up and ask her for a new model because I had to start over. I was like, I don't think I can correct this. Like, this is messed up. I think I redeemed myself. I stayed during lunch and I did a tooth or two to redeem myself, just to myself. I didn't show it to anyone, but I redeemed myself, and then I allowed myself to eat lunch. Oh, I made a big mess already. I have Flowable everywhere. So here was my first one. Oh my god. I just like put way too much on. I was trying to drill it off, but it sticks to here, so I couldn't flick it off, and I just started over. Here's my second one. Looks much more acceptable. I only did these 2 teeth because I had to start over. I ran out of time. Anyways, I'm an embarrassment to myself. So that's cool. And then she also goes over what she does at each appointment. Like, what's the sequence of the things that she does at each appointment. Here's what I thought Dr. Rhodri Thomas did really well was he's like literally an artist. There was a video of him painting in the woods. Like, he's an artist. He's really good at relaying things to the lab. His lab prescriptions are almost in itself like a work of art. So he has like a tooth, and then he'll draw like where all the lobes are. And I think it's because he teaches the resin course. And so with resin, when you're rebuilding a tooth with composite, you have to be aware of all the different areas of color in a tooth so that you can rebuild it so it looks lifelike and not just like one opaque, big, blocky chiclet. He brought a lot to this in that respect, where he was explaining like how he communicates things to the lab. I don't know, I just wrote a lab slip yesterday, and I don't think I did a very good job of communicating those things to the lab, but I know that I will be better about it, because usually I just write like number 6 through 11, blah, blah, blah. And then if it's more complicated than that, I'll send an email or something, or I will actually call my ceramist. But they both spent a lot of time talking about how they communicate effectively to the ceramist. And Andi showed her way, which is a lot of it's through photography. And I do take a lot of those photos currently, but I could be better about relaying my thoughts to them. And then Dr. Rhodri like draws things out. Okay, yes, so Dr. Andi goes through all of the different appointments that they usually do with the patients and how long it usually takes her. A lot of pearls when it comes to communicating these things with the patient. I don't want to give away her pearls, you know, because they're hers and, you know, she has a course. So I don't want to tell you guys all of the secrets that she told us. So that was the first day. Then I got really drunk that night because it was mom's night out and I had no baby to take care of. And Dr. Andi was kind enough to drop me off in my apartment. Not my apartment, my hotel. So I'm back. I'm staying at the Mondrian. I wish I stayed at the hotel, but too late. Oh man, I'm so tired. Do you guys know that like learning is very hard work? I don't know if you're like a full-time student, you know this already, but it's really hard. And I will tell you that it is way more fun to learn once you are out of dental school. Like, honestly, it's so fun. I had the best time. Anyway, the second day we did more of how to provisionalize and how to cement. There's like a hands-on activity with the cementing. She goes over how she does all that. Honestly, this part did surprise me a little bit because it is different than how I do it. I usually do shrink wrapping for my provisionals. The way she explained it, I'm open to trying it. That's what's cool about these courses. I actually did it yesterday. The day after I took the course, I did a 4-unit veneer case and I did it on that one and it turned out great. So I think that I might try that from now on. She also showed how she cements it but keeps it clean, and it really reduces the time that you spend cementing. So I thought that that was really, really helpful. If you have never done a case, take a course like this, because not only will it help you figure out exactly what burrs you need in order to do these preps and how to prep these, like when to break the contact and all that, it'll show you the exact sequence of how to provisionalize and how to cement, because those are often very, very stressful appointments if you don't know how to do it or if it's your first time, because they're long appointments. And if you have an exact recipe of how somebody else does it, it is a lot easier for you to get started with this. For me, I felt like as a dentist that does a lot of these cases, I felt like I learned a lot too. So I know that some people watching, there's going to be a varied amount of experience. Some people have not done cosmetic cases and they want to. The student that was sitting next to me, I don't know if she's doing a lot right now, but she definitely has the eye to do it, and she should be doing it because she has the eye, but she's probably a little bit more new to getting in the game. Whereas dentists that are pretty established, like me and like a lot of the other dentists, they are already doing cases, but there's still so much to learn, like I keep saying. So it's really nice and cool to be able to see like what materials someone with a lot of experience is using and what exact, you know, things that they're using. So overall, what I'm trying to say is, no matter where you are in your cosmetic journey, there's always something to learn. At least if you have the type of spirit in your craft, the way that I do. If you're kind of like, I'm the best, then don't go to this course, because you're not gonna learn anything because you think you're the best already and you're the best tennis player. Who are you gonna play with? And if you are new to the cosmetic journey, I think this is definitely a course that you should check out. It's something where you will get a taste of every part of the sequence, and it's gonna give you a blueprint that you can follow until you are able to make it your own. From a logistical standpoint, if you are signed up for one of these courses and you wanna know a lot of stuff, the LA one is at a hotel. It's really, really cute and nice. The valet is pretty expensive actually, but if you tell them that you are taking the course, it goes down to $25 a day. For me, since I left my car there overnight, they didn't take the course discount, and my valet was like $160 because I left it overnight. They provide lunch every day, but no breakfast. However, there is coffee, a plethora of drinks. Then there is a cocktail hour after the first night, and that's like about an hour, and then you can branch off and have lunch and whatnot. I happen to follow Dr. Andi, so I was able to hang out with her a little bit more and further grow my adoration adoration for her. And then Sunday, you will start around 9 a.m. and then the course ends around, I think we left around 4:30. So if you're like planning your flights and stuff like that, I think that's good to know. I think also what people may want to know is the hotel is a 5-star hotel. So your rooms are going to be around like $400, $500 a night. If you want to save a couple bucks, like you're saving up for this course and you want to save on the hotel, I stay at the Mondrian, which is like within the same block, literally a couple steps away. And that I saved like maybe $100, $150 staying there. And it's still a really nice hotel. And there are other options. That area of LA is full of hotels. So you do not need to stay in an expensive hotel. Although when I was there, most people were staying at that hotel and I was like, I tried to save money and I went to the other hotel. That hotel was adorable, by the way. It has really good food and oh yeah, the food was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was 100% worth the money of everything. I still need to go through the book. I was present during the lecture and I'm assuming she went over everything in the book, but I haven't actually sat down and read everything in the book. I do think that it's worth the money to take this course. Is it enough for you to start doing cases? Yes and no. So I think the way that Dr. Andi practices with APA and all that, their practices are built to support this type of dentistry. If you work in like a bread and butter practice, it's gonna be hard to implement cosmetic dentistry, you know, at this level. But you need to take courses like this and learn from people who are executing at a higher level to start seeing the possibilities of where you can take your practice. So that's what I will leave you with is, I don't think this is like one of those things where like the next day you're gonna go home and do the cosmetic dentistry. It also depends on how you do your marketing. Like for me, I was able to implement a lot of this stuff the next day because I'm doing cosmetic dentistry every single day. But if you don't already have that flow going, then you're gonna need to work on a few things. Number one is just like really taking this all in. Number two is marketing so that your marketing attracts this type of patient. Thankfully, I have social media, so I get all my patients from social media, and I've been so lucky on that front because I don't have to spend any money on marketing. But if you haven't been able to get this caliber of patient or like the patients that come to you specifically for cosmetics, then I think the marketing is something that, you know, is worth bumping up. And social media in particular, Dr. Andi spoke about how social media is very, very important these days when it comes to cosmetic dentistry. So she said that a couple of times. I am for sure going to take the Art of Resin course with Dr. Rhodri Thomas. I don't know if you guys have ever met him, but he's really kind of a funny guy. He brings a good perspective to you as a dentist, because as dentists oftentimes we get stuck in the nitty-gritty details of like steps and stuff, but what both of them help you do is help see the beauty in the nature of the teeth that we're working on and how to replicate teeth. That is something that I wanted to say is like, I think the reason they have that approach for this course is because so many people are getting chiclet-like veneer teeth, and this course is going to help you think about teeth and be able to develop cases that look natural, like what people actually want, not like, you know, opaque chiclet teeth. If you go to another course where they don't really like focus on the beauty of the teeth, then that's sort of what you're going to be making. If you go to a course where they don't focus on how to speak with your lab and how to have a relationship with your lab, then you're going to be prepping and praying, and also you're going to be getting stuff back from the lab that you didn't want, but they didn't know that you didn't want, and it may not look the most natural. I think they did a very nice job of raising up the ceramists by having them there, letting them explain. They let the ceramists come up and explain what they need to see from your preps in order to execute what you are wanting. So if you want a lot of translucency and you didn't prep the incisal edge enough, then how are you gonna get that translucency? That's also something that I did know. It was nice to hear it from ceramists as well, so that they let you know they need to see a few things in your preps. And it's a blend of whatever the ceramist is doing and also how you prep, and then everything will come together into the beautiful porcelain that goes onto the teeth. Okay, so that was my experience at Art of Ceramic. I had so much fun. My spirit has been raised. I connected with so many dentists. It was really fun overall, and I feel really inspired. So we'll take all of these pearls into the practice and kick as a dentist. So I'm gonna take all these pearls back to the practice. If anyone is looking to grow on Instagram, I also have a course on that if you want to join, but I also have a free newsletter if you want to sign up for that too. So lots of options. My next course that I'm signed up for is a biomedic course, and so I will take you guys along for that as well. So hopefully you guys subscribe and tune in to the next one. Thanks, bye.